Hi everybody, it's Nicole Winhoffer. Welcome to the Chair Jawbreaker tutorial. I'm going to take you through some important facts so that you have a safe and effective workout. We want to make sure first that we choose a very sturdy chair with a wide base and that it's placed on a non-slick surface. Every time we step up on the chair, I want to make sure that your full foot is on the base of the chair. That ensures stability. So I'm going to demonstrate a few moves to you. When you step back, you want to make sure that your knee is right over your heel. Every time we come up and down, you want to be aware of where your knee is over your ankle. This is called step back, and I'm making sure that my knee is in line with the ankle. Good. Every time we kick out, you want to make sure that the outer thigh is in line with the ceiling. The base, my supporting leg, continues to have the knee over the ankle. So every time I swing out, my supporting leg is stable on the chair. I'll demonstrate a few for you. Good. One of my next favorite moves is the plank. Again, you want to make sure that your chair is very, very stable. When you place your foot on the chair, you want to make sure that the ball of your foot is toe down and that it's not slippery. You want to test that by just lifting up the knee a couple times to make sure that your hips are in line, your lower abdominals are pulled in, and your shoulders are rolled back. Now watch this. I'm going to turn my supporting knee that's on the ground slightly in to curve out to that 45-degree angle. So let's try it again. We're going to lift up, test the chair. Then we're going to turn that lower knee in. We're going to kick the heel to the ceiling. So you want to make sure the sole of that foot is pushing upwards to the ceiling. Good. Next up, we have the toe down, heel up. Now, if you don't have as much flexibility as I do, we're going to work towards building that. So you just want to focus and think in your mind, toe down, heel up. If you don't have as much rotation in the hip, which we're moving from not from the knee down, but from the hip, you want to make sure that as much as possible, even if it's just a centimeter of your toe and a centimeter of your heel, that you're aware of that and you're not forcing that lower rotation from the knee down. So just watch me, I'm going to modify. This is full rotation. And then this is me modifying it as much as I can, rocking back and forth. The more you do this workout, the more your flexibility, hip rotation, and angles will open up in that supporting leg and the working leg. Great. So after we get through the warm-up, after we get through the legs, we're going to go into abs. So again, your chair is placed on a non-slippery surface. When I'm on my back, I want to make sure that my knee is in line with my hips. The first crunch is a full extension and then a half. So we want to go up and half. To the music, we offer the full range and then halfway, and full range and halfway. That's because you're not going to be using your momentum to swing your abs. You're really forcing your lower abs and your middle abs and your upper abs to work together to get you to that higher point. Good. So notice that my knees are over my hips. We go into the twists. You want to keep your lower back on the floor at all times. If you start to arch, that means that you're lifting too high and your abs are not strong enough. Again, we're working towards building your abdominal strength. So we're going to always keep that lower back on the floor, and you want to envision your spine rolling up and down off the floor. Up and down, up and down. Good. Now when we get to the knees apart, you want to make sure that your upper abs are off the floor. This is to protect your lower back. You want to keep that lower back on the floor. So my upper abs are engaged. I split my heels off the chair and come up. If you can't do that yet, place your hands under your bum and keep those heels down and up, down and up. Next move, we have both heels together. Again, I like to press the backs of my arms onto the ground to ensure that I'm close to gravity and that I'm really forcing my back body to lay flat on the ground. Squeezing my heels together and my knees, I take them off the chair, squeezing my opposite obliques, then I take them to the other side and squeeze. If you're not strong enough again yet, you're gonna take those hands under your hips and start first on the base of the chair. And then when you feel like you're getting stronger, you're gonna take those heels and dip off the base slightly and come up. As soon as you feel your lower back start to come off the ground, that means you've gone too far. You don't want an arch, you want a tuck and a dip. All right, the pelvic thrust, you just wanna make sure that your heels are in line with your hips. You wanna push those heels to the ceiling, squeezing those lower abs in your pelvic floor. We come up, same thing. You wanna keep those heels in line with your hips. Good. Now when we're doing the back bridges, you wanna make sure that your heels are stable on the base of the chair. If it's slippery, if the base of your chair is slippery, you have to make sure to put a mat or a towel or something that you feel safe on. Because our body weight is relying on our heels and the backs of our legs, you wanna make sure that you feel secure on the ground. So I'm digging the backs of my heels into that chair, and I'm gonna push up as high as I can and then roll back down. I'm imagining my spine rolling up and then rolling down, rolling up and rolling down. Again, if your range of motion is not as high as mine yet, you're gonna lift up as much as you can, tucking your pelvis to the ceiling and then rolling down. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Same thing, if you're more advanced, we're gonna take that one leg, push off that one leg and squeeze as much as we can. So we're engaging the back of the leg, the lower back, and squeezing our abdominals to tuck. Good. When we do the roll-ups, you want to make sure that you're scooping through and then coming up. Slowly down, rolling back. You want to scoop through and up, down, and back. If you can't do a full sit-up yet, I want you to use your arms. It's okay. You're going to push, come up, roll down. As long as your lower back is always making that contact first, you're gonna build the strength to eventually not need the arms. Roll up and roll back. Roll up and back. Good. Now when we get to the alternating legs, you're gonna squeeze up, make sure that you have that connection with your lower abdominals and your pelvic floor. And then as soon as you feel strong enough, you're gonna add that extra bit of effort to isolate that right side or left side and squeeze that knee into the chest. And then you roll back down. So first I roll up. Let's try one with my hands. I roll up, I check, then I release, then I come down and guide myself down. Roll up, twist, roll down, and back. I really like this move because it gets your full abdominal from upper to middle to lower, and then right at the end you get that extra twist and rotation, and then you roll back down. It's a good full body move. Good. Rolling all the way up. When we have the chair facing the front, we're gonna get to this move. And again, if your chair surface is hard and you feel your hip bone or it's not comfortable, you wanna make sure to have a cushion there for you, because we wanna make sure that you're first comfortable in resting position, and then you can activate the muscles that we need to work. So you wanna make sure that your hand is placed firmly on the ground, you're grabbing the back of that chair, and the top leg is crossed over the bottom leg. So when I lift up, I squeeze in, I grab the back of the chair, and release down. If you can't do that first move yet, you're just gonna bring those hips up and down. Hips up and down. We're gonna work towards getting this, where you're squeezing and we're not relying on the floor, but we're using our full center to bring those knees in and out, in and out. And if you can't do that yet, you can just sit on the back of the chair, come down, you can squeeze, and just practice lifting your knees off the ground, because you really want to isolate those lower abs, which are really important. lift, and down. And then to get those angles, you can twist your hips and lift up and down, up. Other side, lift and lift. One other thing I wanted to say is, anytime we bend our knees, you want to make sure that your knees, again, are over your ankles and that your butt is back. So when we're stretching out our hamstrings, if you have tight hamstrings, you want to keep loose knees, slightly bent, and you want to work through extending through the back of the leg. So we don't want to jolt, we don't want to hold, but we want to move through and down, moving through and down. Even when I take a flat back, I want to reach through, slight bend in my knees if I have tight hamstrings, and then come up, down, and up. In the beginning, when I reach off the chair, I always have that awareness of where my hips are over my ankles. So I want to just reach. Again, if you have tight hamstrings, it's okay to bend your knees because we're working towards results. Lift, down, lift, down, lift. I think I've taken you through every single possible modification and tutorial fact of this amazing Jawbreaker chair workout. And I really look forward to the results you're going to gain from doing it. And it's amazing to see where somebody starts when they first do something new to where they end up. And I guarantee you that if you listen to everything I say and follow everything that I do, that your results will be guaranteed. So I thank you. And if you get confused or unsure about what to do, it's okay to stop. It's okay to rest, put it on pause. And it's all about finishing. It's all about completing what you say you're going to complete and working hard, because dedication and persistence guarantees results. All right, thanks.